Howdy healers, welcome to Zero to KSM Hero, a series where I'll be attempting the Keystone Master Challenge in patch 9.1.5 on a brand new healer. The rules are simple. For the Alliance, least favored healer, least popular covenant, only moderate help from main character allowed, no linking Raider IO to main character, hugging only, and finally the challenge must be finished before posting the first video to avoid any external help or assistance, and of course for the sake of integrity. Hey guys, welcome back. 'Tis I, the fastest of cats, here with another episode of Zero to KSM Hero, a series where I am doing my best actually. Anyway, before we get started, I actually want to recommend somebody else's channel to you guys. So if you're here, it's probably because you like Mythic Plus or you're interested in Mythic Plus. And lately, I've been watching More Cookies. So he is usually a healer for Mythic Plus and Mythic Rating, and he does a lot of videos on the different healers and like healing out loud episodes where he, narrates through healing different Mythic Plus dungeons. And recently he started a series learning to tank Brewmaster, obviously from the perspective of somebody who normally heals. So it's really cool. You guys should definitely check it out. He has this great narrative style where I don't know, he's just really chill and it's nice to listen to. So recommended. Please check him out. I'll put links in the description to his channel and the first episode of the Brewmaster series in case anybody's interested. Alright, so today we have the next 4 episodes in the series, in order, and we're gonna just try it out and see what happens. So this is a plus 14 Halls of Atonement that I got invited to. I believe we've seen Freelance Dion a couple of times actually by this point, so hello to them again. As they immediately get hit by something. It happens sometimes. You'll have to forgive them at least a little bit. So, as we all know, the first pull is, usually, the most important, and so far it's not looking too bad. We've got some annoying Spitefuls hanging out, chilling. And as always, we have to protect our boys, our melees, because if melee is good at anything, it's dying to Spiteful. Alright, so unfortunately, because of Spiteful, we can't just sit down and drink, so it do be like that sometimes. And preparing for it is smart. And again, it's Necrotic Week, so to keep an eye on our tank. He is a paladin, so he's better off than most. But still kind of want to keep an eye on him because he may still end up in a position where he needs a little bit of help kiting. And that's where, say, Ring of Peace might come in handy. I know this dungeon has a lot of, frontals and stuff, so I definitely want to avoid getting hit by stuff. Alright, our tank was able to reset Necrotic, which is great. Yeah, Ring of Weak. Actually, what he said when I joined the group was, a monk? Even though he's the party leader, but it looks like it was actually the shaman's key, probably, so who knows who actually invited me to the group. Ring of Weak is because the Stoneborn could still get through. Not so weak now, is it, buddy? He did mention, I told him that I could help him kite with, Ring of Peace, and he said something about couldn't he just stand in Ring of Peace instead of running when I put it down? And I mean, the answer to that is yes, but also Ring of Peace is hitboxes, etc., etc. Now this is gonna be literally awful. So, Tank told us to run, basically. He didn't mean to pull all of that. Yeah, so his shield chained and got the guy. For some reason, the shaman doesn't run out, and I totally thought that they were, like, maybe on voice together or something. But it looks like not, so... Yeah, we're being told to, like, literally leave the dungeon. I'm hesitating, and I don't even know why. Like, the faster we get out and reset it, the better, right? I don't think I've ever run into that, where, like, mid-pull we were like, you need to leave. Alright, back in we go. Luckily, we didn't die, so we didn't lose, you know, any of our food buffs or anything. It's alright, we'll try it again. It's not a huge time loss, just a little bit of one. Because I'm a coward, I guess that's how I'm gonna get Mystic Touch up. We definitely have someone that can dispel curses. Alright, so here comes the guy, my least favorite Tormented boss. I think in hindsight, I actually quite like Tormented. The only thing I don't like about it is how... That was my bad, by the way. Is how you had to kind of go out of your way to get to him. Alright, tank helping out there. That was good. We're gonna get our sweet mana power. Which, like, clearly looks like we're gonna need. Alright, and I definitely need to drink, so... the advantage to me coming here versus standing back there and drinking is at least the tank can get something pulled while I sit here and drink, versus if I'm not even there, he might not feel comfortable pulling, so it definitely saves, like, a little bit of time in that way. Just gotta make sure that I stand back far enough that, like, I don't get pulled into combat the second it starts. Obviously, with the newest affix, encrypted, I think that pulls you into combat because, depending on, yeah, because some of the little relics do, like, AoEs or whatever. Alright, so I need to get Renewing Mists out on, like, as many people as possible. The more the better. And always, always, always save Dispel for the Siphon Life there. Look at people not standing and stuff. It's amazing. Ring of Peace just to protect the melees. And as much as I'll, like, make fun of people for standing in damage all the time, like, being a melee player is difficult in the sense that, like, it feels like there's a lot more stuff to worry about in melee, just based off of the fact that you're not able to just stand separated. So, like, for ranged players, they normally don't stack on each other just by default. At most, a ranged player will, like, stack next to another ranged player if they're not sure what to do. Especially in, like, Raid Finder, where it's like you find a healer and go do whatever the healer does, because the healer usually knows more than you, right? But in a dungeon, while sometimes people do that, it isn't like super common where like even if you have a boomkin, a mage, and like a warlock, they probably won't stand on top of each other. They'll probably spread out. And that's just so that if a mechanic hits one of them, they all don't have to move. It works quite well for that purpose. Alright, I have spammed the drink button. And our warrior friend down there, like, standing in stuff again. They're doing their best. I'm sure they're doing their best. It just sucks to be melee. And now you have to worry about frontals, like, it feels like constantly. I was gonna say, you can't pay me to be a melee player, but I'll be honest with you. I like Fury Warrior. It's fun. I would like Enhancement Shaman more, but it's too spammy, like the APM is too high. Alright, time to drink again. For God's sake, let me sit. I mostly say that because when Sagadan pulls everybody in and if that gargoyle does the breath or whatever on them, like, it's gonna hit everyone. Alright, we know the good power. So far, aside from that one, like, miss pull, it went pretty well. I played it maybe a little too close there. Alright, looks like the shaman accidentally pulled. Or somebody else pulled and the shaman just got aggro. It's hard to tell. Mostly because I'm not paying, like, I'm not, like, rewinding a bunch of times to make sure that I know what's going on. Alright, so we don't have a Venthyr, that's why we're pulling these gargoyles or whatever. The tank did link a Mythic Dungeon Tools route at the beginning, and I did look at it at some point, but it was nothing particularly interesting. You know, in my opinion, the new season has like more route variation, at least in the sense that you usually go up, I think, the right staircase and grab a woe to like sneak past everything. But yeah, other than that. Alright, so tank is warning because he wants to do a skip or whatever. I'm going to the back to try to like bait puddles out, but you know, the tank doesn't stay back there very long. A shame, really, because if you stay back there just like for a couple of hits, it at least gets, you know, a couple of the spots like baited way out, which is nice. Gives you a lot of room in the middle. But I would argue that tanking this boss to put the puddles down correctly is like I don't know what to call it. It's a skill set that you have definitely learned. Because as you can see, we've wasted tons of space already, and we're not even clear. At the same time, like, you can't predict what your DPS are gonna do either. Alright, we had somebody die. The warrior's almost dead. Looks like they're dead in that puddle over there, so it's like, could I come over here and battle res them? Maybe. Like, I need to get close enough, but I'm also, like, debating if it's even worth it. This lack of space is really disconcerting. Biggest thing to remember here is when the beams appear, don't panic. They don't, like, actually do damage right away, but if you go back and watch some of my other, like, older videos of Halls of Atonement, I definitely had a couple of instances where I definitely panicked, like, immediately. But yeah, you shouldn't panic. Alright, so we made it. We lost a guy, but we persevered. I don't know why I mounted. Yeah, like, I definitely gotta heal the guy. Alright, we're gonna skip. And I am 100% gonna behave myself and not use roll. Nope, I'm gonna fuck it up. God damn it. I knew I did that at one point, but I couldn't remember if I did or not. I definitely can't use Soulstone. And I'm dead, like, really far down. I rolled like a buffoon. Yeah, I did. Jesus Christ. Okay, yeah, run and die on the stairs. Yeah, the paladin probably couldn't get quite close enough to res me. Like, he could get pretty close, but not close enough. So it's time for me to fucking die again. Ideal would have been, like, a couple of feet further up the stairs, but that works. There we go. Nice. Got it. Alright, we're good now. Like, damn, this warrior just taking every damage. It was an attempt by me. It wasn't perfect, but it was something. Again, we have a curse dispel, but, like, they're just not curse dispelling. They're in their cheat death. And I wasted cocoon on them. Or, I don't even know if it's a cheat death. I don't even know what the hell it is. I hate it, though. Like, just fucking be dead if I can't save you. Trying to get my leap on some guys. Fort Brew, yep. I should use my health stone as well. Alright. Like, all in all, I don't think the fight's too bad. It feels like it's taking a little bit long, but it's not that bad. Man. It's also wild that the tank is number 2 on DPS. It makes kind of sense because there's a lot of ads in this fight. But alright, there we go. I'm just trying to drink, man. Alright, so I don't know why they're standing that close, but I'm gonna stand back and try to bait stuff. I'm also not gonna play with fire by thinking I have time to walk out of it. Alright, well at least he died fast. I don't know why that took me so long to choose a power. Maybe I was thinking about doing something different. Alright. So, like, you can hear my weak aura for frontals going off, like, a lot. But basically, you get the gunshot sound every time a frontal goes off, or is being cast, I guess. To, like, let you know something is going off and to look for it so you can move. Doesn't really help me a ton on this character right now, because, like, obviously I'm not spending all that much time in melee. Or, like, any time in melee, if I can help it. But it does help, like, in those situations where I might be standing close to mobs and need the reassurance that, like, I know when the frontal's going off so I can avoid it. Alright, we have another guy, another pal. I'm kind of hoping I won't take the food power. But there's only one way to find out. So I sure as heck don't remember what I did here. Like, I'm so far behind on posting these videos. This was recorded on the 5th of January. Yeah, and it's May 27th today. At least that I'm, like, doing the editing. The shaman pulled one of the Venthyr guys. So that's cool. That's cool. Oh, both of them got pulled. That's even better. Yeah, and I wasn't paying attention, so I didn't notice how they both got pulled, but it seemed unique. Like a unique choice. I'm afraid to be in melee with those Stoneborn because I feel like I'll get hit by their frontal or whatever. Even though, honestly, I don't think it could do enough damage to me, like, off the cuff to kill me on this boss fight, because this boss fight's so easy. We are definitely running out of time, though. So we have about 5.5 minutes to finish this boss, kill some trash, and kill the last boss. That's a nope for me, dog. But it's not like this group has bad DPS or anything. If I was smart, I would be helping DPS, specifically to help with this. There we go. It's like I read my own mind from the past, or maybe I just never change. I pop Yulon and then I'm not even using it correctly, so I'm cringing it past me. I am telling past me to get good. Alright, she's almost dead. I could go in Touch of Death, but also, like... I marked it because I thought maybe they didn't know it was there, but... It was probably more like they wanted to just focus the boss down. So I'm just getting Mystic Touch up on everything because when the warrior is in the paladin tank are blasting, I want to make sure that they got like the little bit of extra oomph in there. Especially for the warrior because they're like the top DPS. Until damage gets pretty high, I don't want to like spend too much time healing here. Group is pretty quick at getting those down though, so that was really good. Tank is top DPS. He doesn't even know about, 9.2 yet. Grab my orb. And then I'm gonna come DPS. I should have probably come DPS a little bit faster. But you know how it is. Alright, so we have like not even 2.5 minutes to take this boss down. Alright, I should be up in there in melee helping do a little damage. Might not have changed anything, but it might have done some good at least. Alright, now comes the fucking hard part. And if you think it's hard on a monk, like there's some classes that this phase is really difficult. 45 seconds. I don't know why that happened. I barely lived that. They hit their cheat death. And I got potted inside the statue. So that's cool. And then I died. So that was fun. B-res? No, he's got to stand in a statue. He doesn't have time for that. We get an F in the chat for the battle res. So that was that, I guess. Alright, so for our next trick, we have a 14 Sanguine Depths. and the wise Gomer Pyle USMC. No, I mean, we all wonder if that's what he's named his character after, but I don't want my age showing, so I won't say that again. Anyway, we have in our possession here a nice little Sanguine group and a DK tank named Chicken Dwarf, which, that's a choice for a name, but I dig it. I mean, why go normal when you can pick a wild name? So here we have some people who are a little confused about who the Venthyr is, and no, we don't have a Venthyr, which is honestly like the name of the game here. Like, I would say I have had way more Sanguine groups that did not have a Venthyr than groups that did. So I'm not really used to having one. It doesn't make a difference to me either way. Sure would like that buff, though. Would like to experience that someday. Alright, so, I don't know what's happening here. Things got a little chaotic, and I think people might have panicked just a little bit. I'm dying to Spiteful. Is it me? Am I bad? In this case, yeah. But Gomer, and his infinite wisdom, bubbled me. A true hero. We're a group of people having fun and doing stuff, yeah. I like that they're trying to help me kill the Spiteful so that I'm not, like, a miserable sack of shit for the whole dungeon. I'm helping contribute with auto attack, guys. And leg sweep, even. I'm almost out of juice here. Alright, so I'm having a great time here, running on fumes. But it's partly my own fault. I wasn't very discerning. And I need to get some mana. I was afraid that the guy was gonna die, so I might have panicked a little bit. It's also hard to see what's going on with so much crap, and also that, like, red swipey, slashy ability that just very distracting for some reason. And I get feared because, and I could break it with IQD, by the way, but I get feared because I don't think I could have even stacked there. I was afraid of the Spiteful. But we should be okay now. Alright, it should be a little better now that we've got some mana coming to us, I guess. I 100% just heard a cat throw up in the distance. I hate that for me. Oh, and now they're throwing them next to me. That's really cool. Thanks. This is what I always wanted for my day of doing this. Something to clean up later, I guess. It is what it is, folks. If you think animals are nasty, try small children. Or, in my case, like, don't, actually. Anyway, we are zooming. And I think this might be one of the brave non-paladin tanks chilling on a necrotic week. So, good for him. Ouch. Everything is ouchy. It didn't even end at, like, really low mana or anything, though, so that's cool, I guess. Man, you see how little damage I took there? Like, do you guys see that? That's what happens when people do the mechanic, like, correctly. Incredible. You see me roll backward there? It's because I'm a badass. Alright, magic diffuse. Easy. This is so easy. I feel like I've been spoiled after some bad times on that boss. Like, that was easy. Alright, time to go dispel. No, leave me alone. Yeah, you want to stay away from that guy back there. Look at these interrupts. This Ret Paladin. A good Ret Paladin, guys. A good Ret Paladin is worth a lot to a group. A bad one? Eh. Mediocre one? Eh. Good one? We love it. Also, we love a good Death Knight tank in this house. Stoneward. Stoneward makes the next boss so much better. Oh, here we go. Hunter pet pool. Everybody's worried, as they should be. If I was doing this now, I would probably immediately pop Yulon and start getting enveloping mists up on a couple of people. Like, the biggest concern is always gonna be mana anyways with that. But, like, also, you're not gonna live very long if everything is awful either. But, like, look at my mana. It's not even bad. Alright, so I'm gonna drink a little bit while they're doing that over there. Alright, so I got some stuff up on some guys. Stoneward helps keep me from being dead. I love being silenced. It's so much fun. Yeah, the actual evil is this guy, to be honest. Here we have some paladin wings going on. The first time I was in this dungeon, I got hit by that stupid sweeping slash so many times because I could not see it very well. So, like, I have super bad depth perception, or, like, concept of space and direction, I think is maybe a better way to put it. Like, not only can I not tell how far my car is from the curb, but, like, stuff like that specific mechanic, if I'm not in melee range, it's like I can't tell what direction it's facing, because, and this is gonna sound insane, but I know that it's in front of the mob, but if I can't tell what direction the mob is facing, I can't tell what direction the ability is going to go flying in. So, like, I may just assume it's a different direction because the mob from that distance it's like faceless to me. I mean, to be fair, I should be wearing glasses probably to play the game, and I don't, because, like, I don't wear glasses. Like, it's like I'm in denial that I need glasses. I mean, I'm not. I know that I do. I have a prescription. I need it to drive, but I don't wear it unless I have to because it, like, honestly gives me migraines, which that's not something I want to get into, but um, playing on a screen with glasses, I feel like is like a surefire way for me to get like a major migraine very quickly. So I like straight up don't. But because of that, like the mobs are all kind of like faceless, and I can't tell what direction they're facing unless I'm like pretty close to them. So this is where the frontal weak aura comes in handy, and standing in melee, even though I hate it. At least then I can kind of see directly what direction the mob is facing and where the frontal is going to go so I can avoid it. Because until I started doing that with the sweeping slash, I was getting hit by them quite often. Look at how swiftly this group handles the shades, by the way. Literally wild. I'm pretty pleased with this group. Like, nobody's taking tons of avoidable damage. Like, yeah, some people were taking some in the first haul, but, like, who doesn't, honestly? Half the time, damn tanks trip in the traps on purpose anyway, so I'll take it. I have no idea why they were apologizing. Also, since this is a Beastmaster Hunter, I want to make sure that their pets are, like, not about to die when possible. Like, if I have an extra little thing I can spend on them to ensure they don't die. Thank God for Tiger's Lust, by the way. Then I'm gonna use it because their damage is their pet, so... Or their damage is both of their pets. So keeping the pet alive is important. Look at how smooth that was. Like, that was so smooth and good. Delicious, even. Alright. Grab my orbs. And I'm putting my statue down back behind me because we're going to be coming back down the hallway, so I want to make sure that, like, we're in range as long as possible. I actually hate this boss more than I hate it on while I'm healing. I really hate it as a ranged DPS. It sucks so bad. Like, how do you do damage and move constantly? You don't, actually. I have no problem doing this on, like, a Fury Warrior or something, but... These guys are doing, like, such a good job. And I'm trying to stay, like, back a little bit. And my reason for this is 100% because it's just easier. And it helps me see the things that are coming around. I've noticed if I try to stack in melee, maybe it's the visual clutter that I struggle with, but I literally cannot see where, like, anything is. It's so awful. I mean, like, yeah, this is a healing heavy fight, but let's be honest here. It hasn't been hard to heal. Like, I wasn't panicking at any point. Like, oh god, how am I gonna heal this? No, it was easy. Monk with Clouded Focus is OP, actually. Just not if you want to do damage. Alright, sit and drink slightly. It's not a huge deal, like I'm not really worried about it, but sometimes this Frost guy is a little much, shall we say. That said, I'm not super worried about this group. Like, I'm not convinced that they're gonna, you know, stand in bad stuff and die. Alright, there we go. Yeah, I really couldn't tell what direction that was facing. Oh, and it got our red paladin, dang. At least somebody was able to res. Alright. Not a big deal. All in all, this is still going pretty well. Like, I'm pretty happy with this group. They're not perfect, but they're like... It's pleasant to heal. We'll go with that. Like, I don't expect any group to be perfect, but I do expect people to, like, try the bare minimum to do their best. Alright. Thing number 1, grab orbs. Thing number 2, move, but only when you have to. I'm gonna grab this orb. Got my 3 orbs. Dotting people up. Or I guess hotting people up. And then healing. The new key, though, is don't move unless you have to, and I am moving a lot for no reason. And actually, I could have spent almost that entire phase not moving at all, because I just got lucky. So, keep that in the back of your skull next time you're working on this fight. Nobody's gonna grab that one up by melee, I guess I am. Again, only move if you have to on this fight. I'm running over to collect my orb, which I shouldn't have bothered doing. Would have also been a good time to pull out Yulon, actually. Right before the movement part. That way she puts breath on people when I enveloping them, but... Just Fort Brew this one with 2 orbs. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. Again, don't move unless you have to. Alright, up we go. I might as well drink. This pool can be a little spicy, but I mean, you can see that it's been great.
None have ever escaped the Sanguine Depths, and neither will you.
Alright. This pool is one of the spicier pools in the dungeon. Sometimes people skip it. But you know how it be in pugs. Sometimes it's better not to try to skip it. Easy. Alright. And I don't even really need to drink because, like, I have plenty of mana. Which I love, because that doesn't happen too often. Alright. This is where you do want to be spread out a little bit if possible, but, it is what it is, right? I could definitely Fort Brew to save myself some struggle here. Now Uline comes about, but I'm probably not going to use her correctly. Nah, we're doing better. We're learning, slowly but surely. My DPS is so fucking pathetic down there. But you know what? Still better than nothing. I hurt a little bit. This haul overall, if you have a decent group, isn't very bad. Alright, we got our enemy forces, and we are ready to boogie. With such low mana, I should probably be a little pickier about, like, you know, who I heal and stuff, but... Damn, this monk popping off here. Alright. I was afraid I might get locked out. So I should sit a little closer. I keep getting put back in combat, but whatever. I still got hit by it because I am not good at dodging it. But also, I didn't do a very good job of even trying to dodge it. Like, it was kind of bad. Up against this wall is not going to help me dodge it. Moving back and forth the other way might. Just gotta hope I don't get more stacks. But like the group is doing overall a pretty good pretty good job of avoiding damage. I love it when I'm partway through the fight and I have more or as much or more mana than I started the fight out at. It's pretty awesome. That was 100% my bad. I think I panicked. So, rule number one is always, like, don't panic. But it's always easier said than done, man. Because the second things start going sideways, it can be hard not to panic. At least, like, a little bit. Boom. We did it. And we plus 2'd it. So, like, that feels really good. So, our score went up 18 points to 1846. So, that's nice. Something pleasant. So, we didn't time a key, we timed a key. And now we've got a couple more to do. Alright, so before I went and did my next key, I actually remembered that I could upgrade gear with Valor, so I took my 14,000 Valor that I accidentally saved up and went and upgraded some gear. Now, I didn't upgrade all of it, but I did grab quite a few pieces and put them up a couple levels, and I still only really got a couple of eye level points from it, but beggars can't be choosers. Alright, so what I'm trying to do is my own 15 Theater of Pain key because, like, obviously I have a 15 key. I don't know why I didn't run it earlier, except that I'm vaguely terrified of Theater of Pain. But let's be honest, the easiest way to get a 15 done is if you have a 15 key yourself. But, you know. So the first person that applies is Bro Totems, a Keystone Master, 242 eye level shaman. So I just invite him right away because, you know, I do want Keystone Master people in my group. Like, I don't really want to invite anyone who isn't already Keystone Master, or at least super close. So, like, this 1085 hunter, yeah, I don't want him in my group. He could be, like, the best hunter ever, but I don't want him. Smokey is really close to being wanted, and Thorson is also pretty close. He's a little bit higher IO than I am, but he's not Keystone Master. And it's one of those things where I don't know how to put this nicely, but at this point in the game, with the tank shortage being still quite real, we want we don't have the luxury necessarily of like being super patient, you know what I'm saying? So I go ahead and invite. Yeah, I just go ahead and invite whoever. And I could have been a little more patient. I think this group filled up in like 2 minutes, but you know, whatever. Alright, so we've assembled a decent squad of people here, of mostly pretty high IO and like people that are close to Keystone Master, and then people who are already Keystone Master. So the hope and the joy is that this will work out. We have a Soothe in the group, so this first pull shouldn't be bad no matter what. I am not contributing to any damage here, even though I should be at least running in and spinning crane kicking here, just because, like, I'm terrified of how much damage might go out. That said, with two people that can soothe, it feels a little silly to be afraid right now, but you know how my experiences have been. And actually, last night in a group, I had a druid healer who did not soothe, except out of the spellbook, maybe. Yeah, so that was an experience and a half. I should cocoon him, or I already cocooned him. There we go. It just didn't last more than like a second. So a tank is you know, struggling here. They've already dropped stacks once. It's a bad time for us all. So the first pull is he said something about one of the ghosts. Okay, but like you had like a bunch of stacks of necrotic and oh, so here we have the first really true instance of a toxic person. This rogue, who is the highest IO in the group, I believe, is being rude to the tank. Hey, come tank. Like, look, he died. And he died because he had too many stacks of crap. And then they pull the boss when I have, like, almost no mana. It's not like we even have a Druid DPS in here to innervate me, you know what I mean? A little bit stressful. But what else is new? Jeez. At least I can get those. Terrible tank. Hello? You're just missing like a core aspect, which is you're supposed to soothe that guy, I think. You also have the problem in here of as a tank, and I think it's true even this season, when the DPS outgear you by maybe even a significant amount, it's very difficult to hold aggro against them, especially when they just bust out real hard. Because you notice that the hunter isn't having any problems. I mean, the hunter has misdirect. Whether they're using it or not, I don't know, but hunter has misdirect. I've already used a mana pot, so also being the only one to stop the opportunity strikes kind of is cringe. I'm DPSing mostly because I don't have that much mana and the guy was just standing there. Somebody else got it, alright. So I don't think it's going too badly. I mean, considering how little mana I had when I came into the fight, I think the fight overall went really well. If I would have come in at full mana, I would have been fine now. I'm allergic to, like, bad playing, actually. That's what I'm thinking. Alright, so overall, not bad at all. So we have some decent DPS going, and, this should go fine. Alright, we have somebody who didn't stack. And then they came in like they were gonna stack, but when they had the thing. Thank God their DPS is good, I guess. Alright. Again, nothing's really going poorly. We had a little bit of a rough start, but thank God for Disease Dispel in here. On to the next pack. Revivaled that right off. I think the hope is that it won't happen again. Alright, so I tried to help the tank reset his stacks, and it was successful, so that's good. He seemed to understand that that's what I was doing. The biggest issue with helping a tank reset stacks is that they don't always seem to understand what exactly you're trying to do for them, so we take it when we got it. Alright, I do have leg sweep available, and that's really useful for these sludge spewer guys. But I'm saving it for Withering Discharge because that's the scary cast. And obviously if they get that off, we're in big trouble. Because the group overall is just like better than most of the ones I've been in, you can see me doing a little bit more DPS here just to like try to help out. Because there's no reason not to. I hate this because it's gonna... Um... Yeah, we should definitely be baiting them back and then moving forward where possible because, like, right now we're in a scary spot. But there's really nowhere for us to go if one appears on us right now. And we both went backward instead of forward, though. If I was doing it over again, I would go forward. Having no... Yeah, there we go. Like, having no choice to step over it again anyway. Alright, so he wants to skip this guy. I don't know why we all won't just invis-pot, but... Oh, he wanted the rogue shroud. Let's be clear here. I forget about shroud all the time. Okay, so we shrouded it. Worked out. I'm trying to just get some mana back. Don't want to be back here too long, though, because I really don't want the stuff jumping all over the place. There's Withering Discharge, but it got interrupted. Worth noting is that I do have a Paladin tank, so they can dispel themselves, but you may not really see it happen anyway. So, like, I don't know, take note if you're a Paladin, I guess. Dispel disease and stuff off yourself, please, for the love of God. Make yourself useful. Alright. Alright, that went a little badly because we ran right back to the Spiteful that was hurting me. But we recovered. And actually killed that really fast. And because I had to stand next to this mob anyway when he does this, I prefer even that we fight him alone when possible. Because then everybody can see where to stand. On we go. I should probably be actually DPSing, but spamming Spinning Crane Kick is way more fun, so, you know. It is what it is. Ring of Peace to, like, push stuff behind us. I don't really need mana. Alright, he wants this boss bloodlusted or heroismed. Looks like the hunter has to do it. Alright, that worked out pretty good. I don't think Gore Chop is hard. It's just a very mechanic heavy fight in the sense that, like, if you don't do mechanics, you will be sorry. Mostly you want to get rid of these ads here on Necrotic because you don't want them stacking up on the tank. This fight does suck to DPS as range, though. I don't mind it on the Hunter, but on any other range class, like, for example, Mage, Elemental Shaman. I guess Elemental's not that bad. They get a lot of good procs, but, like, Fire Mage, this fight really sucks. Like, I don't enjoy it just because it's so much movement. I'm a greedy little whiner who just wants to, like, stand still and pew-pew when I'm a DPS, man. I don't want to move too much. I don't mind doing mechanics, but sometimes it really sucks at how many of the mechanics you get. Alright, so we got one wing down. We've got a couple more to go. I'm gonna do our favorite wing of the dungeon next.
Mortal lives are so fleeting. So
Alright, so the tank's gonna line of sight pull some of these around back here to us. Which I prefer anyway, just because it makes the final push up there, like, better. But it seems to be very dependent on, you know, the group. Most of the groups I've been in lately, they just run to the end, just like it's heroic or whatever. And it's kind of painful. Okay. So the tank is asking for, like, a ring of peace so that we can pass through safely. Which would be easier if everything died at the same time, but it didn't. Our hunter's just standing back there instead of running with the group. It's like he felt like he had to kill the Spitefuls, which I think I get, but at the same time I'm like, you don't necessarily kill them. And in that case, anyway, the point of Ring of Peace was to run away. But, well. I don't hate these guys, but what I do hate is, that, like, nobody wants to stand in here with me except the tank, apparently. That's okay. It looks like we're largely just killing them, and it's working out. Alright, so we're pulling up the Guardian first, which is preferable in my opinion. I don't mind healing this Guardian because he's just one guy, and I can just stand and heal. I don't have to worry about moving, I don't have to worry about my DPS moving. Alright, so here we got our pal, and we're going to be extra careful this time because we don't want to get knocked off the cliff. As if you get knocked off the cliff too close to the edge of the ring up here, you don't die. So and you have to be summoned, so we don't want that for us. Not again, anyway. Alright, so we're doing alright. We're doing alright. I'm just trying to grab me some sweet orbs. I don't really want the food faster one. I don't know why I took it. This group, I don't need it because I don't have to drink that much. I mean, it's useful when you think about it, but it's also not useful. Alright, so we made it. And there's no reason to heal back up because when you take the portal, you do heal to full. Now for the scariest pull in this dungeon. In my humble opinion. And that wasn't even bad at all. And I think to top it off, like, nobody even used a big defensive there. But it was still, like, really easy to heal. It might have been just because I ramped for it. Like, I knew it was coming, so I kind of ramped up. Okay. I drink slightly, but it's not really that big of a deal. Now my favorite guys. But again, like I was saying earlier, like unless I'm like right up next to these guys, I tend to struggle to see like what direction they're actually facing. Just because the thing is on that side doesn't mean that that's the direction it's going to actually go flying. So you got to be paying attention to exactly what direction these mobs are facing to know where it's going to go flying out. Yeah, we do have a curse dispel, but like they are not dispelling curse. the unfortunate reality that we live in, is that people who can dispel just straight up don't. It hurts my little feelings. This is another scary pool, mostly because of the curse that goes out, honestly, and then, like, people are trying not to stand in the thing from the curse, and they're trying not to get hit by stuff, and they're trying to do damage. It's like, it can be pretty scary for DPS, I think, because they're trying, and the healers, because they're trying not to stand in stuff, but, like, also they tend to have a curse on them, so they have to keep moving, and... There's almost nothing you can do here except to attack this guy, so... Once you're in combat, I think you can't take the portal. Alright, we are zooming. Because we are starting to run out of time. Should they lust this fight? Yes.
Your souls are mine to claim. Let your fears consume you.
So as soon as lust is off cooldown, hopefully they will use it. If I was smart here, I would be up there trying to beat the shit out of this boss, because I need all the help I can get trying to time this key. We don't have very much time left, and we still have another boss to go. I don't have a lot of trouble healing that phantasmal parasite or whatever. It's really easy to heal on this character. Obviously, the hardest people it is to heal it on are mages and hunters, because if they don't have any cooldowns up, they can't do much. But I'm not really contributing much to DPS, even when I do DPS, so it's a little bit cringy that I'm even doing this. I don't know. In my head now, I'm thinking, yeah, if I wanted to time this, I should have been up there helping DPS more, because it's going to be really tight, if not, like, impossible at this point. But maybe I was thinking, yeah, it's impossible. We're not going to time it. And that's, like, with people doing mechanics and 3 fairly competent DPS. Like, imagine. Alright, execute phase. Let's go. Alright, so we need to hurry, shall we say, to the last wing. But it's pretty much a guarantee that it's not timeable now. Not saying, like, a really good group couldn't time it, but we just went, like, maybe a little too slow. Because we have 3 mini-bosses and a pack of trash to kill. And 2 bosses in 10 minutes. Like, that's not gonna happen. And of course, if the group is smart, they're using cooldowns on these mobs just to kill them faster. This is where I need to be helping out DPS. Like, my DPS isn't much, but it's something. And nobody's taking, like, crazy amounts of damage, so... And, like, we're trying to hurry, but, like, obviously... Okay, so this is ad number 2 here. Mini-boss number 2, if you will. As long as DPS aren't standing and stuff, we have a fair shot at it. Yeah, like, yeah, my damage isn't much, but, like, when the tank isn't doing hardly any single target damage, so me doing this is, like, at least building up that DPS just a little bit. Alright, so, pull ads, let's go. I should be Tiger's listing the tank, probably, just to get him in there faster. Alright, so this is where DPS need to blow a cooldown or whatever, because the next boss is largely, like, yeah, you can use a cooldown or two, but he's not great for it. I realize this will mean I don't have Ring of Peace up for the Spitefuls, but I'm definitely at a point where it's like, well, we're barely going to time it, even if we do time it, so... Alright, we should be just ignoring these shades as much as possible and moving on. There we go. Meanwhile, the hunter's just shooting right into, like, deflecting. The deflecting barrier or whatever, because they don't stand in melee. They should be standing in melee, and only moving out for that ricocheting blade. Alright, up we go. We have 6 minutes and 20 seconds to kill 2 bosses, and that includes the RP to even get the second boss to spawn. So this is going to be really, really tight. Alright, so I'm just drinking for the sake of it, I guess. Here's the truth. I need to be in there doing DPS right now. There's no reason not to. This boss doesn't do that much damage. Alright, now with 2 DPS down there. I don't know why that I'm just like so scared of doing damage here. Like I go in, but I never commit like really hard. But the boss doesn't really even do any frontals or anything. He's not scary at all. Like, even that kind of stuff is like, alright, so I can't stand in bad stuff. Alright, so I'm gonna battle res this dude. Feels like an appropriate time to battle res somebody, you know? I need to get out of the way, and I didn't. $350. This boss is still alive. And resorting to, like, crackling Jade Lightning, like, is... And I mean, I've said it before, like, obviously, if we don't time the key without my, like, piddly, like, sub 1k DPS here, like, if me doing, like, 500 more DPS or whatever would have changed it, it's like, yeah, I get it, but at the same time, like, we don't deserve to time the key if that's the damage, extra damage that we needed. Like, the tank and DPS should be bringing enough damage. Like, would it have been nice to time it? Then yeah, but, like, it's not as if it's, like, you know... Big hack would have been to die right there and at the very end and then start the RP quickly. Alright, so we've got, like... Let's be generous and say 2 minutes. At this point, honestly, like, yes, Lust at 50%, but, like, also Lust at the beginning where everybody has cooldowns up and, you know, there's no mechanics to avoid, you know? Plus, like, cause Lust isn't on cooldown, like, yeah, you should just blast it. I wouldn't even wait till 50%. Even though it was really common. Yeah, let's see how it goes. I need to commit to DPS. A minute 50 here. Because, like, later in the fight, I'm not going to be able to commit to DPS. So, like, at the very beginning is where it matters the most. Especially here. There's no reason not to just keep DPSing here. Nobody's, like, in danger, you know? Yeah? What, do you have something you want to say, Echo? Yeah? She just needed a pet. Alright, so... we have 26 seconds left, and I thought I had like another roll charge or something, so like, I was just gonna roll to the edge there, but it didn't work the way that I expected. 14 seconds, like, alright, we are barely... this is very close. And that's my bad. I panicked because I could see that we didn't have a lot of time left. And part of my panic is me not being able to use IQD or whatever. So we didn't time it. But it was literally by like, what, like a second or something. But sad times, because that means we get like a 14 key now. Yeah. It is what it is. We can't, and like, I think the important takeaway here is like, we had minimal mistakes, you know what I mean? And we still didn't time it. It, like, nobody played perfectly, but yeah, we didn't get to time it. It is what it is, though. At least everybody tried. Alright, so my next dungeon is a Sanguine Depths 15 that I was invited to pretty quickly after I completed the Theater of Pain. So we're going to run in here, we're going to experience the joy with these people. And yes, I know we just did a 14 Sanguine, but like, if I do it on a 15 here, I'll never have to walk into Sanguine again. Alright, so we get to experience opening the anima cages, finally. And this demon hunter is just standing in, like, everything. Sucks to be them, I guess. I think the worst part about this play right here is that I'm just, like, straight up not putting any mystic touches up on the mobs, and I really should be. Alright, well, we have 10 stacks of this buff for 2 minutes, so we need to boogie. Oh, look at that. Binding shot. That was unfortunate just because the demon hunter went and stood on me. I cocooned them because my legendary and my conduits make Vivify casts on myself do like quite a lot of healing, so I'm not really worried about myself. Alright, damn, he died so fast. Okay, let's go. Alright, we're gonna do a double pull here. Tank is realizing that, like, this DPS is really good and there's no reason you know, not to let them blast. And I pop Yulon because I'm worried. But also, I need to go in there and use leg sweep on these guys. Just to help, you know what I mean? Even though this hunter is like literally blasting so hard. I'm lagging a little bit too, I think. I distinctly remember lagging in a Sanguine Depths, so this must be the one where I was lagging. The first little bit didn't feel that bad, but it's... And it's not even that bad, like the lag isn't terrible, but it's still noticeable, I guess. But it is what it is. While we're doing this boss, I'm gonna go creep on my Raider IO and see who I was in this group with, to see what server they're all from, and because like who knows, maybe they're not even oceanic. Alright, the tank is from Sargeras. The druid is from Emerald Dream. The hunter, oh, the hunter is from Frostmourne. Yup. Not sure where the demon hunter is from, because they transferred or renamed. But yeah, you could see I am lagging. So this must be the Frostmourne, or the hunter's key or something. It's still not too bad. Like, we're doing pretty well. But I might have to classify this as an oceanic group, just because of the lag. Damn, the timing was amazing. Alright, so I do want to drink just a little bit before I have to start dispelling out over there. That's my cue. Tank's got enough to worry about. I have a cat screaming in the background. Yes? What is it, ma'am? Yeah? Do you require something? Yeah? Pets, perhaps? Echo is very screamy. She's a tortie, and she lives to scream. When I first got her, she had kittens, and she screamed in my face, and it terrified me, honestly. I thought she was gonna maul me because she had kittens, but she's just like that, actually. She's just terrifying. My mother-in-law is, like, vaguely afraid of her. And with good reason, because she is loud when she wants to be. Yeah? You are baby? Big baby? Yeah, I knew it. I fucking knew it. So, I guess I should say, with Echo we had her for like 3 or 4 years, I think, and she didn't really want petted or anything. Maybe like a couple pats on the head a day. That was it. Like, she didn't want to sit on your lap, and she didn't want to sit near you, and she just wanted to do her own thing, but she would walk by like maybe once a day, and she wanted patted on the head a couple times. And then suddenly a switch flipped somewhere after like the 3 or 4 year mark. And now she had, it's like she didn't know that she could get pets and that they were good. Like multiple was better than like one, right? So now she's all about it. Aren't you? Aren't you? And to think, somebody threw you away because they were afraid you would attack their dog because you had kittens. Yeah, so that was the story of Echo adoption. My husband called me and said they had a cat and 2 kittens and they needed a home and that the owners were just going to kick them out because their pit bull or whatever was afraid of the cat. And it's like, yeah, because the pit bull won't stop approaching the kittens and mom is protective of the kittens. Why don't you separate them? Anyway, these people were like literal trash. And I wasn't gonna let them just throw these cats out on the street after having them as house cats. So I took them, which means that I'm a sucker, and that's why I have so many damn cats. So I adopted Echo and her boys, Orville and Wilbur, and Wilbur unfortunately passed away of FIP when he was a year and a half old. But Orville and Echo are still around and chillin'. You've heard Echo. You know she's here. She won't let you not know she's here. That's the fun and the joy of cat ownership. No, seriously, I do like cats, but I have days where I'm like, man, I wish I had fewer cats. Like, 8 is a lot of cats, you guys. And I pretty much feel this way because if my husband and I want to go somewhere, like to visit my parents who don't live in the same state, it's really hard for me to be like, hey, mother-in-law, can you cat sit? Can you like come over every day and make sure they have food and water and brush them and stuff? I'm definitely talking so that you don't see every single mistake I make on the screen. That was weird, like a weird visual bug. Anyway, we are doing well in this dungeon, and I am extremely happily surprised by how well we are doing. So, yeah, there's the party leader. It is the Frostmourne guy. So we are technically on an oceanic group, like, right now. That's why we lag in a little bit. I distinctly remember the lag, so even though it's maybe not as obvious in the recording, like, I was 100% feeling it when I was playing. I've been spoiled, because I haven't had horrible lag in the game for a long time, but I used to play with, like, between 500 and 2000 ms. Because that's just how it was, because I lived in the country, and you can't be picky about what kind of internet you have there. There just aren't very many options. Oh, we're pulling big, you guys. Alright, let's pop a cooldown, as you do. Oh, we lost somebody. That was my bad, too, because I hardcasted on accident. Like, you could see, I didn't mean to, but it was like a delay or whatever. I didn't realize that it was going to hardcast. But by the time you start hardcasting, you're like, well, I should let it finish hardcasting, probably. Alright, so now we have 10 stacks for 2 minutes again. And another big group. And we're pulling a boss. Because we still have like a few seconds left on this buff, right? So we want to make sure that we get some use out of it on the boss. I need to be putting Soothing or Mystic Touch up on the boss, but I'm not doing it. I'm cringing. I'm cringing at myself. I hate me. Let's go. Come on, let's go. Oh my god. There we go. If worse comes to worse, I can always cocoon somebody that gets the castigate. It's not a big deal. Again, a 2-minute cooldown. I'm not doing it necessarily, but like, I guess because I don't feel like I need to, like, I feel like I can just heal without it, but it would make things easier. So that's probably what I should have done here on this Demon Hunter, just cocooned him. Just who cares, right? Nice. And a stampeding roar. Oh my god, guys, we are getting like the VIP treatment right now. Good DPS, stampeding roar. Big pools, I guess. Yeah. Oh yeah, you can see the lag there. At least I'm not worthless, even with the lag. Did you see how smooth that was? Like, look at that Hunter DPS. Like, damn. This dude is a badass. Alright, he aimed that right at me. And I didn't seem... Like, I couldn't tell, I think, till the last second. Or, well, you know, maybe lag had something to do with it. I should have just rolled, though. That was cringe. I'm cringing. I'm getting a battle res. Okay. Oh, I chose, like, the worst fucking time to take it. So, this is where I learned to pay attention to what's going on before you accept the battle res. Don't just be, like, spamming the button trying to accept it. Alright, got the feeding trough. Even though I don't think I'm gonna need it, the one moving faster would have probably been more fun. Alright, so on this boss, like, what I prefer to do, yeah, is spread out here. Just so that I grab orbs that are closest to me. This is one of those situations where it's maybe smart to just keep moving a little bit because it's hard to tell where like where the things might spawn or like if you'll be able to get through them in time, but just because of the little bit of lag. Again, it's not like a ton of lag. It's not like I'm 2000 ms deep here, but you can see the orbs take like an extra second to register, so... If I was smart, I would just cocoon somebody. Probably the druid. But... And we still have 2 minutes. What I really need is like a weak aura to track battle res stuff. Not too bad. Yeah. Okay. So they're lagging too. I mean, I suspected they were anyway because they kept getting hit by stuff, even though earlier they weren't really taking a lot of avoidable damage. I don't keep my like MS or whatever up, so I honestly don't know what mine is. I just know that I'm lagging. But if everybody else's is that, mine's probably the same. Oh yeah, they can just release. This is too good of a spot to like, you know, get a drink. Alright, so we are doing well here. Oh, that was some lag right there. Honestly, when I'm lagging as a healer, I tend to overheal a lot just because you don't know what to... Like, because you can't react very well, you just, like, assume that people are gonna need healing and start, like, throwing stuff out there. It's not the best way to do it, but at the same time, like, if you're lagging, you know... See, and that looked like I was out of that, so... Lag strikes again, I guess. But you can't say that very often these days. Alright, that worked a little bit better. Alright, let's zoom. I'm feeling very confident about this because despite the lag, like, we're making really good time and we have really good DPS. Plus, we have Venthyr in the party, which means the urn is ours for the taking. Man, this lag is annoying. 500 isn't even bad, like... If I only had 500 MS, like, back in the day, I would have been like, ah, yeah, this is the good shit right here.
That prisoner belongs to the Master. You will not take it.
Okay. We're gonna be getting some stacks here, boys. Love that. It's a great time to phase the boss or whatever.
These halls will be your tomb.
Damn. We are zooming. Nice. Didn't even have to waste that, so I have it for this boss. I guess I don't need it for this boss? Like, you don't... There's no execute phase. Alright, so important for me is mechanics here. Just making sure that I'm not standing in crap. Because obviously if I die, I can't heal anyone. It's going pretty well. Ouch. Big brain. That's the big brain bop. Yeah, there's just not much to say about this boss. Like, it's just going so smoothly. Alright, awesome. So we timed another 15. We are gods. And not only do we time it, but we plus 2'd it. Yeah, it's only 5 more points, but it's still nice to have it done. I could have definitely done something else, but, you know, this is worth it for me, even being laggy. So let's go ahead and pull up our bingo cards and see what we might have got or didn't get, I guess. Alright. Oh, I got a 14 the other side. Very cool. Alright, bingo time. Alright, so we didn't get anything for Painful Bingo this round, and I'm gonna go ahead and give it a Slaggy Oceanic group, but it's okay actually for Wholesome Bingo because we plus 2'd it. So even though everybody was lagging in an Oceanic group, yeah, it works. And, yeah, like the whole group was an Oceanic, but because the leader was, like, we were all lagging except the leader, so that was cool. Alright, so like a slight update on the series itself. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 episodes remaining, I think. No, 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4 more episodes remaining. Sorry. I don't know how to count apparently, even though I work in accounting, so that's cool. So I have 4 more episodes planned, and some of these may be kind of long because my goal with each one is to get at least one timed 15 run in each video remaining so that there's something to watch in full. But what I think I'm gonna do, and obviously don't quote me on this because I haven't edited it yet, so who knows how it's gonna turn out, but I will probably like not include very much footage of the things that were timed or untimed, but that which like that I'm not going to use, right? So like if they weren't my final score for the dungeon, I don't want to like go through the whole entire dungeon like 4 episodes before the end. It just feels really long for no reason. And if I broke it up more and did like just a few dungeons per episode, I'd have like way more episodes left. And I'll be honest with you guys, like, nah, I don't really want to do a bunch more episodes, especially when I get into these like the next couple episodes are a lot of interesting experiences. So I'd rather just focus on what was interesting about them versus like the whole dungeon. Just because it should save some time and we should be able to get to the end of the series faster, which yeah, I mean, if you're here because you enjoy my content, I guess, you probably don't want the series to end that fast, but it's outdated content already, so I want to get it over with. So anyway, that's all for this time, you guys. Until next time, take care of yourselves and happy healing.